The winner of the 2024 Crabbo Breaking Barriers in Canada Award goes to The Diary of a Naija Immigrant.
Hey darling, are you in for this ride with me? Let's jump in.
Hello everybody, welcome. Oh my goodness, Chioma.
No way, that switch was... That switch was...
What is wrong with this, Chioma? In fact, I'm not cutting this off. This is exactly how we're going to start the episode. Because what is all this?
Oh my God.
Yes, this is exactly how this episode is going to start.
Hello.
Anyways, I don't need to introduce anymore because you've met her. By what she has just displayed, you have seen. Yes, what more can I say? Anyways, welcome to yet another episode of The Diary of a Naija Immigrant. I remain Onye Ekenelbi, and with me today is my friend, my sister, my baby mama, because my goddaughter is her daughter, so she's just raising her a little bit for me right now, and then very soon I'll come grab her. She hasn't admitted that she's my godchild, but she is my godchild, and she is none other but Chioma Nwigwe. You might know her as Oma. She is the one who likes to shake tables on Nigerian social media.
I do.
Always talking about hot topics.
I do.
And always, she's a feminist. She is an activist. She is someone who also makes a difference in the society here in Canada and in Nigeria. I'm so excited to have her with us here today. She will introduce herself a little bit more, but for now, will help me welcome Chioma Nwigwe.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thank you so much. That was very kind. I don't know about shaking tables. At least I don't set out to, but yes, I am Chioma Nwigwe. Everyone calls me Oma, so yeah. I'm a lawyer, a project manager, a privacy practitioner. I am also a feminist. I am Wasoka's mommy.
Clock it.
Clock it. She's the light of my life, my whole life. But yeah, I'm the founder of Safety for Every Girl, a non-profit based currently in Nigeria and focused on protecting the safety and dignity of girls and women. And I am excited to be here.
Yay! I know you are excited. I am excited too.
I'll just be
What
nice.
is there not to be excited
I was
about?
just being nice. I'm here under duress.
What? You did not say that. Anyways. No, take us seriously, but don't take us seriously. We're just joking. We're not. We love each other, I promise. But hopefully we don't break each other's heads today before the end. Anyways, so Chioma, this is the Diary of a Naija Immigrant. So of course I will ask you about your immigration journey. How did you get to Calgary, Canada? Why Calgary, Canada?
Okay, where do I start from? Okay, so I schooled in England and I just hated it. Like, no offense, but
why?
I mean, I liked my schooling experience, but just the England just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me.
What part of your education did you get?
My master's.
Okay.
I have a master's in international development, and that was in Nottingham, University of Nottingham. I love my school. Like, I loved the people I went to school with, but England was just a bit too moody. The people are a bit more. It just wasn't my vibe.
Really?
Yeah. My sister lives there. So my sister did everything to try to convince me to stay back. I'm like, nope. And I was also in my, we have to go back and make Nigeria work phase, right? So I'm like, no, if we all leave. At that point, I had a different charity, Bentoria Foundation, and I was focused on active citizenship. And I'm like, if we all leave, then who is going to fix Nigeria? We have to go back and fix Nigeria.
Okay.
So my sister is like, okay, I mean, if you say so.
Until Nigeria happens to you.
Oh, Jesus. And it happened, like, the quickness with which it happened to me. Because up until that time, I finished school, I went to law school, I got a job right after, right? And I always had jobs. Like, I always had a job. So I never really had to look for a job or anything. It just happened. And then I went back. And for the first time, I had to actually look for a job. And I went through this interview process with a company that I really liked. You know, everything was good. I was excited. And then this insane CEO, who I hadn't met throughout the interview process. I had done what I thought was the last stage of the interview, you know, congratulations had been said. And I was just waiting for the formal email. I was very excited. And then I got a call from the CEO, who I had only met in person. Like, he walked in during one of the interviews and walked out. And this insane human being invited me to dinner. Yeah.
Okay.
Dinner at 8 p.m. at 4 Points. I'm like, pardon? You say?
Really?
You say?
Was this a British
No,
person,
this was,
or-
I had come back to Nigeria now. So I was in Nigeria.
Right, now it's making more
Girl,
sense. Okay.
British.
Oh, yeah, now it's making more sense.
No,
Okay.
I had come back. I insisted on coming back. So I came back and I started working with Miss Nigeria. So I had that going. I was doing that. But I also wanted a job in my field, right? My plan was to focus on nonprofit management and all of that. So I was doing other jobs, right? But I wanted one, like, really secure job. And so this guy asked me to come to 4 Points, 8 p.m. to finalize everything. Like, I can't remember the exact way he put it.
Exactly?
But something like finalize everything. And then I asked him, will the HR lady, will she be there? Right?
Good question.
And he said, oh, no, this will be very quick. And I'm like, I'm afraid I can't make it, right? I didn't say it was inappropriate or anything. I just said, well, it's 8 p.m. And it was the same day I had the final thing. So I'm like, I'm all the way back home in Nigeria. There's no way I can make it at that time. Can we reschedule for tomorrow morning, right, in the office? And he's like, don't be a child. I'm like, I am a child.
How old were you, please?
Please, this was 2019. I was 29. I'm like, please, I'm a child. I'm my mommy's child. Because obviously I knew what he was trying. Like, we both knew what he was trying to do, right? And he's like, oh, this is an offer that a lot of girls will, you know, jump at. I'm like, well, give it to other girls, right? This is certainly not for me. And that kind of, it ended and I was just so irritated. My sister had already told me about Canada and Express Entry and whatnot, but I hadn't looked at it because access citizenship, right? I really wasn't. But that whole experience, and this was an interview process that was very lengthy. It wasn't like it was just a quick. I had really, and you had celebrated.
So
you were.
much,
I was just like, you know what? I'm just tired of it. I'm sick of it. And I started the application process. It was very straightforward at the time. Now it's a lot harder, but at the time it was very straightforward. It was easy. I did it and it worked. And I landed in Toronto. And I think 2 years ago, I decided to make the move to Calgary because I got married and I just feel like Calgary is a better city, is a more family-friendly city. And so we made the decision to move here.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you moved.
I'm glad.
Because I know when we first moved, when we first met,
Yeah.
you were like, you used to live in Toronto and everything.
We had just moved when we first met.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm so glad that
you're one of the first people I met in Calgary, actually.
You know, clock it. So if you know Chioma, just know that I am one of the first people in her life.
Yeah, you're one of the first people I met here.
Yeah, and it's so interesting the way we met. Like, I just saw you on
random
Main
in
Street,
church.
just random in church, and I was like, "Can I ask you a question?"
Yeah.
And that was it. Like, I was doing a streeter on Main Street in our church, and that was just it. And I loved the way we just connected off the bat, right? And the fact that our husbands also met and they also connected. Oh my God, they connected.
Bat. That first dinner, it was they had
so
known each other for so long.
It felt really, really
it just
good.
felt organic.
Yeah,
really.
and like nothing has been forced and all of that. And then Nwasoka came. I knew you before you got pregnant with Nwasoka, so I knew you longer than you've been a mom. So, anyways, and then all of a sudden, Chioma, you became a mom, and then we saw a different side of you. We're like, what is this content that we are seeing? This is not the Chioma that we knew.
This is not Masbos.
This is not the basketballs that we know. Chioma is now carrying baby. She's now talking about breastfeeding, postpartum. What happened? What did motherhood do to you?
Motherhood changed me. See, the thing is, so for most of my life, I didn't even want to get married. Like, marriage was not a thing. It's not just that it wasn't a thing. It was that I did not want it. Like, I didn't desire it, right?
Why?
Well, so I made the decision that I wouldn't get married when I think I was like 8 years old, right?
Are you joking?
I'm not joking. So I asked my mom, when I grow up, can I be a dad? And she said no. And I said, well, then I'm not getting married. Right, because for me, the only way marriage made sense was if I was the dad in the equation.
Why?
Because dads had fun. And this was the way I interpreted it as an 8-year-old girl, right? Moms didn't have fun. At the time, we lived in a block of flats, right? And it was a very lively neighborhood. We're very close-knit. I still remember all my neighbors were still in touch. Like, we grew up with family.
Where is that?
In Owerri. I grew up in Owerri. So we had an insight into not just our lives, but the lives of our neighbors, our friends, our, all of that. And the dads had hobbies. Like, my dad plays lawn tennis every day to this day.
Wow.
Every day after work, he comes home, he changes, he goes and he plays lawn tennis. Wow. We had people who had many dads. They all had different things. Some would play Scrabble after, like, they had things. But moms just took care of the family,
kids,
right?
Yeah.
My mom, like, they would cook, they would clean. Well, I mean, we had helps, but they would supervise. There was always something they were doing. The only other place they went to was church. And I'm just like, being a mom is not fun. My parents were very traditional, as a lot of parents were at that time. So my dad was well taken care of, right? And I'm like, I want to be well taken care of too. In my 8-year-old brain, I'm just like, this looks like the life. I want this life,
yes.
And when my mom said I couldn't, I'm like, well, then I'm not getting married. And through the years, there wasn't a lot that happened that changed my mind about it. If anything, I got confirmation that, maybe more refined, more nuanced, but still confirmation that being a wife was hard work, and marriage generally favored men far more than women. And so marriage wasn't really on my mind. But you see, kids, I always knew I wanted kids. Always. My mom, when I told her I was getting married, she showed me her prayer request for 2022. And apparently she had written it after I had told her I was going to do IVF.
Really? Oh, wait. You wanted to do IVF to have kids.
Yeah.
But you weren't interested. So where was the sperm? Just a sperm donor, like a sperm bank?
Girl, that's not hard.
Okay.
That can be arranged. So after I remember the day I had that conversation, my mother shouted, "God forbid!"
Oh my God.
That was the day she put the request in writing, And so motherhood, I always knew I wanted to be a mom. I always wanted that, right? So when I got pregnant, you saw me in pregnancy. I was a happy bunny. I couldn't wait to meet her. And she is every single thing that I imagined.
I have chills right now because Nwasoka her name is Nwasoka, and the meaning of Nwasoka is the baby is sweet.
Basically, that's the literal meaning.
And she is sweet.
Oh my God, she is.
Goodness.
I know I'm biased because I'm her mom, but she really
is sweet. And such a happy baby.
Oh my God.
The fact that she's such a happy baby is like the icing on the cake.
Is. And I know this is because if I'm watching somebody say this, I'll roll my eyes. But before I had her, so I was reading a lot of stuff, and they said the baby picks up on your energy, right? So I was so intentional about being happy. So much so that 5 days after, right before I ended up in the ER, because I was holding her too much, I was crying, but I was holding her. And because I didn't want her to see me sad, my husband walked into the room and saw me like this. up on the energy. I'm like,
Aw.
well, if I start crying, then she's gonna be a crybaby.
Yeah.
So because I wanted her to be happy, I was just like,
Aw, motherhood.
girl. It is without a doubt the most difficult thing I have done in my life. Nothing that you read or prepares you for it, right? Because even when you know mentally what to expect, the actual experience when you're actually doing it is so different.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it is that you get your reward immediately, right? When they smile back, when they hit their milestones, when, all of that. And what breaks my heart is that a lot of moms don't get to enjoy that because they're so in the trenches, in the weeds. They're so overwhelmed that they don't even have the time to appreciate those little milestones that keep you going, right? Because I feel like that's what they are. Like the reward just, it gives you like a burst of energy that allows you to keep going. But a lot of moms are so overwhelmed, they're tired, so you don't even have the time to appreciate and celebrate, those rewarding moments as your child,
Hits
grows.
the
And
milestones,
it makes me really sad when I think about
Yeah.
it for moms. But it's been a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
It's changed me in a way I knew was possible. I knew that being a mom was going to
That
be.
your heart could be soft.
I.
You,
Wow.
knew,
Wow.
you knew that your heart could
I'm
be
a
soft.
very soft girl. I'm a very soft girl.
Okay, if you
you
say
know,
so.
but,
Whatever makes you happy.
I'm a very soft girl, but yeah.
Okay.
Wasaka is. she's
How did it
everything.
change you? Why did it make you see life differently? Because I feel like the fact that your content became different,
Yeah.
your outlook on life became different, I feel like it changed you and you started to see life differently.
I feel like it wasn't as much as changing me to the extent of seeing life differently, as much as it's energized me to take action and speak about the things that I care about, right? There are a lot of things I care about, but I had always been one of those people that just felt that considering that the overwhelming majority of Nigeria's population is living in poverty, there are more important things to talk about on social media than relationship, marriage, motherhood. Motherhood maybe not, but relationship, marriage, and all of that. And then when I had Wasoka, it changed my perception on that, because I quickly realized just how intertwined those things are. They're not side topics, right? Marriage is more than likely the longest relationship any of us will ever be in our lifetime. Is a relationship that can make or break you. The person you choose to spend your life with can pretty much determine the trajectory of your life. And that person directly impacts your motherhood journey. The level of support you receive during, whether it's motherhood or throughout your marriage, can impact everything from your career to even your life, right? Whether you leave or you're unalived can be determined by the person you choose to partner with. So this isn't like a side topic. It's not something that, you talk about when everything else is exhausted. The more time I spent being a mom, the more angry I became at, just things that weren't done right. I remember the day I decided to start speaking about, marriage and particularly men on Instagram. I remember it clear as day, right?
Walk us through that. Take us
I had opened my phone, like just, picked up my phone, went on Instagram. And the first 3 posts I saw were from podcasts talking about women. Right, talking about what women in this generation weren't doing right, talking about how
And men were the hosts.
it was men that were the hosts, right? There were 1 or 2 women there, but it was driven by men, right?
I feel like I know the podcast you're referring
and
to.
it's like I'm like, oh my God, can women catch a break? If you think in 2025 that women are the reason that marriages are failing, that the family is under attack, then you must be living under a rock. The average woman, from the moment that she's able to comprehend and understand, marriage, motherhood is drummed into your ear, right? I still recall as a young girl, when you're sweeping, bend down and sweep properly. Is this how you sweep in your husband's house? You have to learn how to cook. Is this how you cook in your husband's house? You know, and we do all of this shaping and framing and, lecturing only to hand women over to men who have been completely unprepared for marriage and supporting motherhood. I went through the first post, I ignored it. I went through the second post, I ignored it. I went through the third post, and I'm like, that's it. That is it. I've had it. Yeah. Someone needs to talk to men. And clearly the men are not going to do it. Clearly the men have no interest in doing it because they choose not to be accountable, right? They choose not to speak to other men. There are a handful of men who talk about it. There are a handful of people who are focused on that, but not nearly as much as as the focus you have on women. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just going to, my friends were shocked because I had zero interest in having any of those conversations, right? My focus has always been on feminism and women and women's rights and empowering women and building women's confidence and whatnot. But I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
There's a hole there that needs to be, or a gap that needs to be filled, right? And I think you've been doing it pretty well. I love the way I don't know why it doesn't keep I don't know why I just pictured your content in front of my face as I love the way I can tell that Chioma just woke up and there was a burning thing that she just set the camera, and then when she's done talking, it just ends.
Yeah.
You're like, someone needs to tell you guys, and it ends. Someone needs to talk about this. You guys need to do better, and it just ends there. It's like, that is the point of it, and whether you like it or not, I have dropped it. You take it or not.
That's it, really.
But that is really good. I love it. But at the same time, how much backlash versus accolades do you get for the kind of content you put out there?
I have no idea because I very hardly go through my comments. I already know what's in there. It's men crying. And I drink your tears, my darlings. I drink it. There are a lot of, because before I started it, my posts had ended up on a few sites before, right? Maybe Jama Daisy, even Insta blogs, here and there. So I already know what kind of comments I'm gonna get, right? And when I go through the notifications, I see some, when I see the ones that are reasonable, I engage. The rest of it, I just can't be bothered, at all. It doesn't even get to me at all. Maybe a big part of that is that most of them lack range and depth. If you want to insult me, come. I can match you band for band, but you need to make it worth it, right? What's your expired? What's that? Hello? Make it, I need something to respond to. I need something to, something that gets me thinking, I've never, and it's also because a lot of times the people that will, if you disagree, that's fine, right? You can, I was going back and forth with someone in my comment section on TikTok yesterday, but that's because it was an intellectually stimulating conversation he was having, right? He was providing a different perspective and had questions and whatnot, so it was easy for me to engage. But when you come off and you're being rude or you're just speaking out of your pocket, it makes no difference to me. I also, secondly, don't necessarily care about the accolades because I know what I'm saying. And I know that what I'm saying is rooted in facts, right? I have conversations with women. I am a woman, so I have my lived experience, right? I grew up in a home. I was surrounded by, before we moved out of the flats, this was access to a whole range of different families from different tribes. I saw firsthand what their lives are like. I have sisters, I have a brother, I have friends, I have relatives. So there are a lot of people that I have been exposed to. I also didn't particularly marry early, right? I got married at 32. So I had lived, and a lot of my friends had gotten married before me. Some had gotten married and divorced before me, right? So it's not information.
Before you. even before you
even
got
before
married.
I got married.
Yes,
Did you
'cause
get?
you're not getting
No,
divorced.
amen. I meant before I got married. Yes. So it's not. I'm not speaking just for the sake of speaking, right? The things that I'm talking about, I know. I generally don't speak carelessly. If I'm saying it, it's because I know it to be true. Now, perspectives, we are a product of our lived experiences. So it is very possible that there are people who have different experiences because maybe you grew up in a home where your dad was not traditional, so he was a lot more hands-on or whatever. But I also feel like it's people being disingenuous because even if you grew up in that home, you know people who are not. So when you come into my comment section and say something like, this is not true, men are not, I just know that you're being disingenuous because you have friends. And I can promise you that with the level of irresponsibility amongst men in Nigeria, it is almost impossible that in your group of friends, you don't have 1, 2, 3 people who are as irresponsible as the men that I'm speaking to, right? And even when people come in and say, well, not all men might be behind. In that moment, you are less focused on the message being passed and more on doing PR for your gender. Obviously, it goes without saying that it's not all men, right? I wouldn't be married to a man like that. So I have a brother. Of course, I know men who are not like irresponsible, who are more hands-on. And I will give accolades to the men in our generation. We see a lot more men who are present, who are more hands-on. But it doesn't take away from the fact that the overwhelming majority are not, right?
Yeah, that's a very educated argument. And I know that you love a good argument, Chioma. It's just like I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw a video of a guy who said, and I don't know if I actually have the right to use the same analysis because the guy who used it is also Asian, but he said, when I'm quoting this guy now, this is not me saying, he said, if I come out and I say 70% of Asian men are short,
I think I saw that.
and then you come and you're saying Asian men are not, I know 1 or 2 Asian men that are tall, like make it make sense. The person never said that all Asian men were short. He said 70% of Asian men are short, or most Asian men are, which is true. Most Asian, like when you say 70%, that's most of it. 70 versus 30, right? And then you're coming to say, but no, there are some people that I know that are tall. That means you're not making an educated. So you're coming out and you're arguing for your gender. You're doing PR for your gender, but you know that majority of your gender, these are the issues.
You see, when I tell people that men know what they're doing, yeah, tell your male friend that genuinely cares about you, that you're single, he should introduce you to his friends. Tell him to introduce you to his friends.
What will happen?
In that moment, that's when he'll tell you, I don't have any friend that has sense.
That's true.
But you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you said.
That's if the person cares about you.
See, when we're growing up, let my brother catch me with his friend.
And that is true. That is why most times they don't let you. Their brothers will never. They don't want their friends close to you because they know what they are made of.
They know what they're doing. Do you get? So I feel like it's. I mean, for instance, I consider myself to be a bit conservative in terms of choices, not politics and stuff, obviously not, but in terms of like personal life choices. I grew up in a conservative Christian home, so my choices for lifestyle choices generally tend to lean towards more conservative choices, right? But I won't wake up and say I don't know what women are doing out there. I wouldn't say that. Like someone wouldn't say something about women and I'll be like, that's not true, simply because I do not live a certain way.
Yeah.
Right? I know that I do not live a certain way, or I do not make certain choices. But it doesn't mean that I'm not aware of what some people are doing.
Yeah.
So when people say those things, I just know that you're not being honest. And the only time it comes up is when women. I was on, I don't know where I was, whether it was Instagram or TikTok, and someone made a video and it's like, International Men's Day gets Googled most on International Women's Day.
Interesting, really?
Because it is only on International Women's Day, when issues about women are being raised, that men will start asking, what about men? If you really cared, who are you waiting for? I have an International Women's Day event coming up. Is it men hosting the event? All the International Women's Day events that I have been to, is women hosting it. Are you waiting for women to come and host your
for
International
you.
Men's Day event for you?
Exactly.
Because you've gotten so used to the unpaid labor of women, you want us to also come and do that for you on International Men's Day. Right?
Yeah.
When have you, if you cared about men, you would actively be speaking up about the issues that affect men, which, by the way, I think somebody should be doing, right? I think more people should be doing. I think that a lot of men have been dealt a very poor hand simply because the lack of preparation for life that came from the way they were raised is a shame, right? But as an adult, you have a choice to do better.
Right.
You now know better. You're in control of your life. You can research, you can get information, you can educate yourself and do better. There's a reason, and part of the reason I feel like having conversations, continuing to talk to women, people are like, oh, why don't you focus on women? I'm like, you're talking nonsense, right? Because our mothers did such a phenomenal job that even the men of this generation want us to be more like our mothers. Now, why don't the women of this generation want the men to be more like our fathers? Why? Yeah, the men want to maintain status quo. They want the women
My
to
mom
be
did this,
just
my mom
like
did
our
that.
moms.
Yeah.
Why are the girls saying we don't want men like our forefathers? And you still think it's the women that need to be talked to?
There's something fundamentally wrong. If I want to bring it to the society we live in right now, how would you say, like, can you liken the same thing to here? And how would you say this society has also influenced and fueled your voice even more?
I think that it's same problems but different environments, right?
Okay.
In Nigeria, it's a lot easier to overlook some of the inadequacies of men because we have support, right? The average family in Nigeria, they have a help, right? The higher up you go, you might have more nannies, you might have a chef, you might have a driver. So when you say a man is not hands-on, the woman has support, right? You probably don't have to deal with the back-breaking everyday chores because you have some support with that, right? But then you have your family network, you have your social network as well that is fully established because that's a country you grew up in, right? And then you move here and help is not as accessible, support is not as accessible, right? You have to do everything yourself. From the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, there is nobody providing additional support outside of your core family. I mean, obviously there are nannies, but the cost is ridiculous and they don't even serve you in the way that we have gotten accustomed to. So a lot of times it's like, what's the point? She can't cook, she can't do any of that, so what's the point? So it's just you and your husband. And then in Nigeria, at a certain level, you have men who are providing more, right? At a certain level, and this is in some homes. A lot of homes, people like to deceive themselves. There are few homes in Nigeria that are one income, right? Very few homes in Nigeria that are one income. You might find cases where the man provides more, but you also find cases where the woman provides more. And you find cases where they're almost at par. But when you come here, it becomes even more evident because the work-life balance is not as great as it is back home. So now the woman is, in addition to working just as hard as you from a career perspective, you now expect that you come home and put your feet up. And then the person that has gone to work with you and come back almost at the same time as you is now left to deal with all of the other domestic responsibility in the home. For me, it's not even about just being ignorant. It is cruel, it is wicked that you even think it. And when Nigerian men often say things like, oh, Nigerian women don't know what love is, they just care about money. Nigerian men don't know what love is. Because for me, love is not about feelings and emotions. Cute, but good for you. Love is an action word.
Those will fade.
Love is an action word.
Yeah.
I care about how you treat me. I care about how you make me feel. The kind of person that will sit on a couch and watch me labor and struggle you don't love me. You hate, as a matter of fact, you hate me. And oftentimes my husband would be like, babe, there's a difference in mindset. I don't think, they even think of it that way. But the fact that you don't think of it that way means you hate me, because if you love somebody, you're consciously thinking about them. You're thinking about ways to make their life easier, right? So and I think that is the core difference here, is that in Nigeria, it's a lot easier for women to overlook and just, we'll get help. Help is affordable. We'll just get help to support the work that we do. But abroad, you don't have that. So you're compelled to confront the issue, right? You're compelled. And that's why it seems like marriages here don't last as well, because you can't just ignore. Because in Nigeria, when you ignore, you outsource the work. Here, when you ignore, you have to do it until you break.
Right.
Last year, there was a social media, challenge of, how I lost my spark and, during pregnancy, how pregnancy and motherhood and marriage drained me. And it was women basically showing how they were before they got married, alive, bubbly, fun, all of that. And in marriage, they're basically shadow of themselves, right? And for me, every time I see a woman that is going through that, the first place I look is your husband. That's the first place I look, because having gone through motherhood myself, being a mom myself, I know that there is no way I would have had the journey that I had, the experience that I had, if I didn't have adequate support. Your family at some point is going to go away, unless you're one of the lucky few whose family stays with them. Eventually, the people, the crowd, they're going to go, and it will just be you and your partner. And if you are married to somebody who does not think of you, who does not actively look for ways to make your life easier, who is not indulgent of you, it's going to be hell. It's going to be hell. The thing is, even with the person who is, you're in the trenches. Now imagine what it's like when you're not.
You don't have.
Yeah. So being here and seeing that even when the tables are turned, because you can say, oh, Nigerian men don't think about it so much because we have a house help, we have a chef, we have a driver. So I feel like I've provided, resources to make your life easier. So yeah, so you can maybe even try to excuse it. But you come here and you're now in a situation where you know for a fact that your wife doesn't have support, and you're still insisting. And I hate the selective traditionalism, because if you're truly a traditional man, you won't be willing to accept money from your wife.
Exactly.
Why is it okay for you to accept money from her? Like
100%.
she's paying bills like you.
You guys are splitting the bills.
You're splitting the bills. But when it comes to doing chores, and it irritates me so much when I hear I'm helping. You're not helping. It's your home. Like, are you a guest?
Exactly.
Like, what do you mean?
It's
I'm babysitting your child. How are you babysitting your child?
You're taking care of your child.
And I'm like, when they say, men
That
are
is
not
your
naturally...
child.
Do you know how much I hate... You think you hate chores? Me. I mean, last born. I
hate chores.
Like,
I hate it.
See, when I go to Nigeria... As a matter of fact, my husband didn't even know I could cook when he landed in Canada. When...
Okay. Oh yeah, start telling us about.
We're fully married. Like, the man had... Well, I don't even...
He signed that. Okay, nothing.
He, like, because... if I have a choice, I'm not...
You're not stepping into the kitchen.
I'm not made for this life. Every time I have to do chores, I'm just like, this is not the life God intended for me.
See, I had a cooking page when I was in Nigeria. I said I love cooking. My mom was a chef, so my cooking page was called The Chef's Daughter. I came to this place. I said, impossible. I hate cooking.
God! Because see, in Nigeria, someone, even if you want to do the cooking yourself, someone will prepare everything for you, like prepare. You just come in to mix. In fact,
make everything.
You can even put the tomato to be fried for the stew and tell her just be turning it. When it's dry, call me.
And I will just set the camera. I will video my cooking process. When I'm done, I'm like, okay, clean up.
Yes! Now, you will see, when I was pregnant, because we buy meat in bulk.
Oh my goodness. That's standing to wash meat.
We buy meat in bulk,
Oh
like
my
full
gosh.
goats, then maybe 1/8 of a cow, and so I was pregnant, and I'm usually I like things done a certain way. So
Of
when
course.
someone asks to help, I'm like, I'm good. Like, Go do something else. I'm good.
Yeah.
That day, see, Onye, I was washing the meat. I washed that meat, and inevitably my husband will ask me, "Are you okay?" Like, I'm fine. I washed that meat. What's that meat? When I finished, I cried. Onye, I cried.
Oh my gosh,
He's
I can't
like,
really imagine.
what happened?
I was here. I asked you what you
See,
needed.
that was the last time he allowed me watch it because he's like, I beg.
And when he came, your husband, he lost peace of mind. He does not want anything that will stress him.
I beg, it's okay, no more. It's okay, don't worry. I cried because this is more than 5 hours of being on your feet. Of
course, because it's a lot.
And
it's
obviously,
a lot.
maybe the pregnancy, the hormones, everything added to it. But I'm just like,
no, even when you're not pregnant, that's a lot. Like,
Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
And you know it's coming from the farm, so you have to record some of them. It's it was a lot. But I say that to say, like, in Nigeria, it's a lot easier to overlook things. You have support. Here,
it's just you, yourself, and you.
Bruh, like, see, if we were married in Nigeria till now, he probably would not still know that I know how to cook. If we were staying in Nigeria,
just be cooking.
Because in Nigeria, the chef will make anything, we'll eat it like that. When he's like, wait, you mean you know how to cook? And we've been eating this nonsense. This is what we make because in Nigeria, the chef is not Nigerian. You know, it's French. Yeah. You know, so sometimes the egusi will not really be like the
heat.
But I will chop it. Like anytime we're tired of that one, we go out and buy it. You know, we buy in Nigeria. You have options, right? You can go out and buy food, and it's nice. You know, you do things.
Exactly.
So it's a lot easier to just say, here.
You have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
By the time, even if you say, okay, let me order soup, by the time you order twice,
number one, you won't even get what you really want. You don't even, because I remember when I was pregnant, right? Sometimes you don't want to, you have a craving. After the first
jollof rice, you were like
first time, second time of ordering outside, you just respect yourself and cook. By the time you even finish cooking, the craving is gone. Because a lot of people that cook here, some are professionals, but identifying who the professionals are versus who is cooking just because they haven't been able to find employment and their family members told them, your food is sweet, so you start cooking, you know. But in Nigeria, you have so many options, so you can decide to order a liter of soup, liter of stew, liter of jollof rice, liter of this, put in the fridge. Everybody. Call it a day. Here you don't have that option, you get. And so you have to learn to
do it yourself.
Work together. If you don't work together, if you don't have a true partnership, one person is going to struggle, and more often than not is the woman, right? Is the woman that has to, because a lot of us also walk around with internalized misogyny, right? Myself included, because it is 35 years of programming. You can't just undo it, you know, in a heartbeat.
It's a garbage in, garbage out.
Oh, yeah. So a lot of times, a lot of things that I criticize my mom for, I'm like, why would you? I do it. Just because, like, I can't not do it, right? It's just, I've been programmed that way. I can't not do it, right? And so you find yourself that naturally being the default parent, naturally being the, you know, infantilizing your husband, you know. I travel quite a bit. There's never a time I travel without making sure he has food to eat, you know. He's a grown man. Before he met me, he was eating, but you just find yourself going back to those things that you witnessed
and
growing
we're naturally
up,
nurturing. Women are, I don't know, maybe like you said, the way our mothers raised us, we've been raised to be the nurturer. Yeah. So there's no way you won't want to, you were here and you had to call to be sure that your daughter was doing okay. I can tell you for free that if he was the one that stepped out, he might not call like that to say. So,
and part of it is that he's sure that she's fine.
Exactly, because she is with her mom.
Yeah.
So we're just raised that way. It's just sad to see that even in this day, like sometimes I remember when my son, we were in Nigeria, and I made up my mind that I had a son for my first child, and I said, there's nothing like boys' work or girls' work. So you'd be entering the kitchen with me. My son could cook Indomie that's 3+. You enter, carry chair and stand and be stirring the Indomie. And then one relative came in one day and my son was in the kitchen. I was like, what are you doing in the kitchen? Boys are not meant to be in the kitchen. I had to warn them. I was like, please, not my boy. My boy has to be in the kitchen. He will learn how to. And one of it, I'm not to throw my husband under the bus, but when I was pregnant with this child, as I'm stepping down from the bed, I have to be eating. As long as I brush my teeth, I have to be eating because my body would just start shaking. And the days when the chef would come, it was fine because before I wake up, I could smell the food. The food is already. But on the days when the chef doesn't come, my husband will have to enter the kitchen and ordinary Indomie. I had to hold my nose and he's like, is it going? See, it was so bad. And then I told myself, I was like, I'm having a boy. This cannot happen. My child has to know how to cook. If there's anybody in my house that knows that, like if I ask them, what do you guys want to have for dinner? And my son says noodles. I'm like, you're making it right? Because there's no need for me to be in the kitchen. You can make Indomie. I remember my daughter saying, Mommy, if you didn't have kids, baking would have been hard. And I was like, ooh, okay.
Nice.
Because my son is brushing the meat pie. My daughter is poking the meat pie. So like, I love that we millennial moms, we learned how to nurture from our moms who had the different mindset of who is supposed to be the nurturer. But we are able to influence the next generation and make sure that whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, there's nobody that nurture is written in front of their head. We all have to, in order for you to have a successful home or a successful life, you have to learn these things. They are basic life skills.
Survival skills.
It's not for one gender. It's for both.
Girl, do you know the overwhelming majority of Michelin star chefs are men?
Exactly.
So how can you turn around and
how
say
did
that
it happen?
You get?
Like
because
how?
when it comes to unpaid labor, that's when we recognize that women's, skills matter. But when it comes to paid labor, suddenly men are better, right? We only want to acknowledge women being better when it doesn't lead to economic fulfillment or advantage. When it comes to doing chores, they'll tell you girls develop faster than men. But when it comes to positions in the office, you suddenly forget that girls develop faster than men, right? You suddenly forget. When it comes to political positions, suddenly women are not built for politics, right? And when you have this conversation, someone will open their mouth and say, if armed robbers come to the house, well, how many times have armed robbers come to your house? How many times have armed robbers come to your house? And by the way, I feel like Nigerian men, they also pick a lot of like conversation from from foreigners, right? A man will tell you, when plumbing or mechanic, I've never seen a Nigerian man do any plumbing work in my life.
It's when they come here that they now see that, okay, those labor are even paid more.
In Nigeria, all you're doing is making a phone call. In fact, half the time, the only reason we're letting you do it is for your own ego because it's a phone call.
Exactly.
We're calling somebody to come and do it. So you're comparing work that you outsource to labor that the woman has to carry herself. And some even have the audacity to ask for fresh food. You have the audacity to ask for fresh food daily.
I know somebody that still does that here, but whatever.
To Jesus be their glory. And that is why I encourage women to be wicked. And when I say that, I don't mean be wicked.
Oh my goodness.
It's just that a lot of the things that women do to stand up for themselves is considered wickedness, right? It's like when I tell people...
In quotes.
Yeah, it's when I tell people I'm a bad wife. I am a bad wife. Like, because it takes away the power of the words from you, because for a lot of women that is what you're most afraid of, right? Being called a bad wife, being called mean, again, because we have been raised a certain way. You want to be considered a good wife. So a lot of us end up being people pleasers, right? Because I am bad, my darling, say less,
take it to the bank,
it's okay. I'm wicked. Me wicked. Cruel. Oh, divorce is constant. Is always on my table.
It can
it can never be taken off the table. Let's just take divorce and put it right back on the table, right? Because those are all the things that were used to make women so afraid that they are willing to lose themselves completely in the marriage, right?
Yes.
Why is the marriage more important to me than you? Hello, why? Why is keeping you benefit more from it? So why would I be?
I will leave your ass before you leave me.
Like a situation that benefits you more, then you will not be threatening me on top, bro. You can't even put that, because the day you put that trust, you follow through.
I think they just believe that when a woman is divorced, it's harder for her to. And another thing is, especially if children are involved, we end up being the ones that are like, yeah, I'm keeping my kids. And they feel like, okay, it's harder for you to find love again.
Who said I want it again?
But for them, it's easy for them to. My children are actually enough for me.
There is a reason that when men get divorced, they immediately run to find another person. Because marriage benefits them. You are basically getting unpaid labor, taking care of you morning, afternoon, night. That is the reason most divorced men, look at them, 2 seconds they've run into another one. The same happens with widowers. Your wife passes, the next minute they need another wife. Women, on the other hand, you people's stress is too much. Please move. It is not that women cannot get men. Excuse me, pregnant though, with the baby in my hand, though,
they will still come for you.
Every time people say this thing, I'm just like, I'm sorry.
You're dropping
men,
gems.
as in, is it men we're talking about? Men. Me and my 9 months. See, 9 months. I was waddling like a dolphin. I'm like, is it a fetish? Like, move out of my way, please. I just want to buy my plantain chips in peace. Can you move? And that's also the reason I can never, like, see, infidelity. I talk about it a lot, and I will continue to talk about it. I will never stop talking about it. Since men have decided that it is their God-given right, I will continue to talk about it. The foolishness of it, because all I have to do to cheat is exist. I don't have to do anything.
You don't do the cheating. Nope.
As a matter of fact, it is so beneficial for me to cheat. Yeah, because if I want a Van Cleef now, all I have to do is respond to my DM. I just need to respond to my DM. You know, a little shimmy, a little razzle dazzle.
Don't take me out.
A little razzle dazzle, and you know, and my life is, you know, and so all I have to do is step out of my house. I don't even need to step out of my house. Respond to DM.
Just exist. Just breathe.
But yet, every day, I am making a conscious effort to choose you, to choose us, to stay faithful, because we have made vows, and I take those vows seriously. And then you will get up, go and chase the. You will
chasing.
Take money for one soccer's piano lesson.
This man so got not hear one. No, he's taking our piano lesson.
Money that we should use and do mommy and me outfit. You carry it and go and give one smally. No, now Thunder has to fire you. It has to.
This situation, it just makes me sad that it's mostly. I mean, it happens with the other people, like the Canadians or the. But what makes it sad is this is something that has been put on us from generation,
because
and then we bring it to this society.
Because you see, let me tell you, especially living in England, I don't think the people are better in any way. But there are consequences for actions. If you run a red light, you get a ticket. And because you get a ticket, you respect yourself and you don't run a red light. If you cheat, your wife will leave you and she'll take 50% and you'll pay Ali money for the rest of your life. So even though they still cheat, there is a consciousness, like the ones that are bad. These are the bad ones. There is a consciousness that if they catch me, there's a problem. Our own, they are doing it with their full chest. In fact, you even ask and they tell you, and so what? Am I the first? And that is because there are no consequences.
Some even had the right to say that men are built to.
Women will now tell you too that men are polygamous in nature. Why?
Men are polygamous.
You see, let me tell you something. The average man, based on my interaction with Nigerian men, we're Igbos, right? For the average Igbo man, his family is his pride. The average Igbo man, his world revolves around his family, right? That is his greatest pride. So the overwhelming majority of them, in my experience, are not willing to lose their family because of a side chick or homeboys or whatever. The reason they behave so badly is because they know that you'll be waiting when they come home. If they knew that if they do that, you will be gone,
Long gone.
they will act a bit differently. And people mimic behavior, right? So you see that you'll find a lot more people here who are not, they haven't really even thought about cheating because it wasn't in the life that they lived, right? They didn't see it with their parents. It wasn't a normal thing. It's not a celebrated thing in their society. It's not normalized in their society. But in Nigeria, because it is normalized, the average young man grows up seeing cheating as normal because it has been normalized in society. Let me not hear not all men. Let me not hear it. Because even if it's not happening in your home, your next door
happening
neighbor,
somewhere.
it's happening. In
Yeah.
your pastor, is happening, right? It is so common that you grow up not seeing it as the shocking betrayal that it is. A lot of men do not even understand why it would hurt you, right? And I say men know what they're doing because if you are supposed to be the stronger gender and your wife cheating will send you into a spiral, you might end up in a mental home. Why do you think that women who you claim are the weaker gender and more emotional, why do you think it will be easier for me to manage that
it.
level of betrayal?
Right.
And so I believe strongly in consequences.
Answer.
And that is why that divorce can never be off the table because both of us need to know marriage is a contract. It is a contract. That
The
is
moment
what it
you
is.
break it,
Right?
you-
There are terms in this contract. Some of them are
Terms and
absolute.
conditions apply.
Yes, some of them are absolute. You touch me, you will go to jail. There's nothing that can stop you from going to jail. It's not. And then when these things happen, the focus more on your reaction to the situation and not the situation itself. Are you an animal? Why are you beating somebody? Clearly, you're an animal, and someone needs to take. Like, what do you do with animals that have gone berserk? If a
You
dog
lock them
bites
up.
somebody here, the dog is
Put them in a
euthanized.
cage.
So you have to be caged because clearly you're an animal. And then they'll now focus on, oh, she called the cops on her husband. Was he just sitting there minding his business and she called the cops? You know. So that's the way I look at it. It's the fear of consequences keeps people in line. If you know that the woman you married is not the kind of woman who you would cheat on and disrespect and she would stay, I feel like a lot more men would act
Sit up.
properly just because I do not believe that a lot of them are willing to lose their marriage. But if they put sugar in your mouth, why will you spit it out? If you know that you can live the way you want, you can be married and living single and still get the best of both worlds. Your wife will still be at home taking care of the kids and doing all of that and even posting on social media about how you're the best thing that happened to this world. You know, why not?
Right. It's sad though that some people have to take it because you feel like you can't do better. You feel
Yes.
like, okay, that is where you have built your life and your entire world.
Yes.
And I just recently I heard that some people actually, there are some cheating groups here in Calgary.
Oh, of course.
And I'm like, wow, how do you even find the time? How do
Yeah.
you find the resources? Because we live to pay bills here for crying out loud.
Because I feel like part of that is also that, you know, again, women don't want to be bad because if work closes at 5,
Enough said.
we're not in Lagos. We know exactly how long it takes to come home. You know, but you don't want to be a nag. You don't want to be called a nag. You don't want to be, you know, and so you let it. But it's irritating when you think of the effort that goes into living such irresponsible life. And that is, for me, I think that's even where the betrayal hits the most. The energy you put into it, you know, like the lies you had to tell. And again, because of the way this system is, I can't forgive you because in order for you to do that, you have to actively prioritize that over your family here.
Exactly.
Because here it's so difficult to balance work with kids, after school activities, all of that. So you have to pretty much rob your family of the time with you in order to
For you
make
to
time
do
to be
that.
irresponsible.
Was it worth
And
it?
when I think about it and think about the fact that you had time to think about me, you had time to think about our kids, you had time to think about the life that we built, and you still chose this.
That means you knew what you were doing.
Men always know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, right? And so, yeah, I'm just like, and I get very irritated because on the one hand, I empathize with the women that think, oh, that's just the way men are. I empathize because it's indoctrination, right? You grew up seeing your mother go
have to
through
unlearn
it.
it,
You grew up
please.
seeing this person do it.
Did you like
the people
it when you
around
grew up
you,
seeing
they
it?
hated it, but their mom told them that's just the way the men are. If you go into my comment section, there's a post I made. I said that a lot of Nigerian women that are married are lonelier than single girls, right? And there are lots of comments. I think TikTok comment section is a bit more interesting, but there are lots of comments. And you see women in the comments saying, it's because you have time to look at him. Just focus on your kids, focus on your... Then why do I have you? I might as well be single.
Exactly.
I might as well...
And
Why would
raise
I
my
be
child
married
alone.
and focus on raising my kids? Like,
We're
you
supposed to be
basically...
life partners for
You
crying out
basically
loud.
signed up for a life without a partner because there's no love, there's no affection, there's no intimacy, right? There's none. I might as well be single. At least that's one less person to worry about. You get? So I empathize with them, but I'm also irritated because at the same time, it's bad enough that you have been indoctrinated and you believe this. It's worse still that you're always consciously looking to recruit more followers, right? It's like misery loves company and you need to make sure. In fact, people like us are considered the bad guys because how dare you tell women to leave relationships that do not satisfy them? How dare you tell women to leave marriages where they're being abused and harassed? You just don't value family, you know. And that's a big part of the reason why maybe later this year or next year, we're looking to launch empowerment programs because for the
Where?
women in Nigeria as well, because for the women
you
who
launching in
do Calgary, we're going to do
We're coming,
Calgary.
we're coming,
We're
we're coming.
going to do Calgary.
Something
Don't
is in the
worry.
pipeline.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little. It's
Yep.
coming. You know, because there are women who know that there is better. They know that they deserve better, but somehow you situation, life, whatever, you ended up being financially dependent on the man. And so when you think about leaving, you think about the fact that your children are going to, because Nigerian men are very petty and vindictive. So you're thinking about the fact that your children are probably going to lose access to the quality of life that they have right now.
They've been
There's
used
also
to.
the fact that even despite the fact that we know that they are not going to take care of the kids themselves, they might want to fight you on custody, right? And you don't even have the resources to win the fight, you know, which is again why I talk so much about women having your own. It's so important that at every point you have your own.
Yeah.
On the one hand, you want to have it so that you can take care of yourself, you can take care of your kids, you can contribute financially to your home. On the other hand, you know, it's vex money.
Vex
You need to have
money.
petty money.
I was thinking the same thing.
You need to have petty money. You know, you want to go band for band, let's go. Right? You want to be petty, let's go. Right? Anyhow you decide to come, wherever you decide to come, you want kindness.
Let's
we need
do
to
it.
I was telling my friend yesterday that I think it's very important that the people that you're most kind to also know that you're capable of extreme wickedness. Because when people act a certain way, I'm like, where's the audacity from? Because I feel like people should know not to try you. Like they should know that, oh, she might seem very sweet and all, but if you get on her wrong side, you know,
You'll see a different side of
people
her.
need to know that because what do you mean you beat me? Like, how? You know
Don't say
me
hi to
and you
it.
know that if you go low, I'm going into hell. God is working on me. He's doing his work, you know.
He is.
Abba Father,
We see
you're
it.
working.
We see
like,
what you're doing, Lord.
you're working
Keep
like
doing
because sometimes I'm just like these people don't know the old me. They don't know, you know. But people need to know because you need to know that there'll be consequences. You need to know that I'm not the 1 or the 10. There will be consequences, right? Is it that we build a family in love and grow together and you'll be working with somebody building, you're both working hard, you know, you started from maybe a 2-bedroom flat, you moved to a house, you're going glory for glory. The minute
They
you blow,
That's
when
it.
you're now
you want
supposed to
have
pour into
bad
your
behavior.
family, that is where, because Nigerian men, the indices for success, for the overwhelming majority of them, is
If you have somebody else,
irresponsibility.
yeah.
Right? Now you're a functional alcoholic because every day you have to go to the club and buy a bottle and buy a table and do all of that, right? You have to go out and do the most. You have to have a side chick. How else are you going to show that you're... Because they want to prove to their boys who are their true loves. I'd say it a lot of times. A lot of Nigerian men, their true loves are their boys, right? You want to prove to them that you've arrived. And how do you do that? You start bringing girls around. And that's why when they say not all men, I'm like, you're talking rubbish. Because I have personally, there are very few times that I've witnessed the so-called good men call out their friends for their bad behavior, right? If those men who are irresponsible know that if they bring the girls around, if they do this, their friends will cut them off and tell them off and all that. The overwhelming majority, and that's why they get to say things like, oh, female friendships don't last, because female friends hold themselves accountable.
Oh, yeah.
A guy can come in and tell his friend now, oh, I beat my wife, and they'll be like, guy, why now?
And that's
they do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
As women, they talk. Just, they do that.
They will
kind
end
of
up
thing.
making it look
And
as
then
if
they'll
it's the
drink.
woman's fault.
And then they'll drink. There's no real conversation.
They will even ask, what did she do? Is that important at that point? Is that important? Like,
it is. They will. It's not a deep, proper conversation to tell you absolutely no, this is not right. There's no reason why you should do this. No, you will see guys. You're having an event. Like, I can't imagine having an event, and my friend who is married shows up to it with someone that is not her husband, and we're just laughing. We're just kicking. I can't imagine it happening, right? But for guys, it's normal.
It is very normal.
It's so normal.
Remember the one of the trends that happened in 2025? The CEO and his HR officer, and they were out there.
And there were people, their friends that
knew about it.
Right? You would see, it is so rare to see women, to see that with women. So rare, because women, female friendships, we hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
But the guy would claim, I'm one of the good guys. And then you're surrounded by bingos. No, you're bingo adjacent. There's nothing good about you.
Exactly.
There's nothing good. And the thing is that...
I actually made a content about it. I haven't put it out yet. I was like, the people you surround yourself with, they're an extension of who you are. It's
only a matter of time.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time. Because if you're constantly... We all have our weak moments. Right? Sometimes it shows up, right? And it shows up when you least expect it. The thing is that you hope that when in your moment of weakness, the people that are around you are people that would build you up and help you make good decisions. And that's also why when people say, oh, your marriage, keep your issues to yourself. Lies. That's how women quench. That is how you quench. Because the only people that will tell you, I will never, are people that haven't truly been in love. If you love somebody, you know that love and foolishness,
they go hand in hand.
You just be doing things and be like, na me be this. Na me be this. God,
even your feminists. There's
someone that says something. Someone said something a few weeks ago and said, people that are happily married will never tell you what they do, because if they do,
you will be like,
that means you do.
My
Jesus. Sometimes you go to sleep and you're just like, am I the one?
Did I really do
Jesus.
this?
So you always need people that you can trust, that help you stay grounded, that help you. Sometimes it's helping you. Sometimes you think you're right and your friend is helping you see different perspectives. No, actually on this one, babe, you weren't right. Just go and apologize. Some other times it's like, girl, you're doing too much. Like, he's taking advantage. Because people who are abusive, the first thing they do is isolate you. The first thing to do is isolate you, because when you're isolated, abuse thrives in the face of isolation, right? And I'm not saying, broadcast your issues, but at every point you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever people that you trust, that you know are in your corner, that you know that want to see you win, that you can go to, and you know that they will hold you up. Because in that moment, two people cannot run mad at the same time. And I promise you, there'll be moments where you're just like, what the hell? And you're in your moment, you're in your feelings. And you need people that will bring you back to earth, right? You will have to. So it's...
yeah. It is what it is. But these are the issues, and we have to keep talking about it, because that's the only way we can inform change. That's the only way we can help that person living under the rock to realize that something is wrong somewhere.
Of
I heard
course.
someone was telling me about somebody that they don't have a friend. The annoying thing, or the fascinating thing I should say, is that she has siblings living in this city and in Canada, like outside of the city, but in Canada. And this lady, the only person she talks because she's been isolated is ChatGPT. She's like, ChatGPT, I feel sad. This is happening. And then ChatGPT will start to talk with her. I'm like, she's running mad, but she doesn't know.
Proper running mad. Oh.
Like she's
Proper-
running.
proper
She
running
really
mad.
needs to seek help.
Proper running
So if you're one
mad.
of those people, my dear, you really, really need to seek help. It is not
Proper.
normal.
It's not. It
It's
is
not
not.
normal. Don't make them make you feel like you're going crazy because you're seeing things. If you feel like you're isolated, you can't ask for help. If you feel like this guy, you're slowly draining, you're a shadow of yourself, and he's there watching you drown, my dear, please
You're married
get
to
up.
your enemy.
Yes.
You're married to your enemy. I have my friends get annoyed with me because I have my senses are very highly developed because I trust myself. If I say something, if I feel like something is wrong, I don't need proof. I know there's something wrong. Like if I feel like something is off, something is off.
definitely off.
So I'll literally meet somebody today and I'm like, nope, this person is not. I can't prove it. I can't. But it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
It will come. So for me personally, I trust myself enough to take a decision there and then. If it feels off, it's off. Like, forget it. Like, it's not happening. But obviously, when you're talking to somebody and you're like, this just feels wrong. There's no way for... It's like when when we're growing up and you bring somebody to marry and your parents, not us, but our parents' generation, and they'll be like, no. And they'll tell you what an elder can see standing up. You can't, because sometimes they can't
Yeah.
put it into words
Yeah.
why this person is wrong, but they can just tell.
They can tell.
And it's the same thing. I tell women, you have to develop your intuition. You have to develop it. And you develop it by not questioning yourself every time, right?
Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
intuition, I feel like, is God-given. And most women, we have it.
We have it.
But years of either pushing it down can make it,
you start doubting
yourself. But if you trust it, you actually sharpen it, right? If it feels wrong, and you have to make time for yourself. Like, you have to make time for yourself. I say it all the time, right? You're going to lose your mind. You're going to lose your mind.
Find a hobby.
Jesus Christ.
Find a hobby. Hobby is not meant for just the man.
People get married and they cut off their friends. I'm like, in the sea of foolish things, that has to be top of the list, right? You need your friends now more than ever. Marriage, motherhood, it will test you, even the best ones. Like, I'm not even talking about the bingos, right? This is, you are married to a good person. You're happily married. It is still two adults that are fully formed coming together to make sense of life, right? So you're
Raised
going to
from
have
different
challenges,
backgrounds.
you get,
Yeah.
and then you have kids, and those kids will test
They will test you.
They will
Oh.
test you. And then you have work. It will test you.
Absolutely.
You need to have people that you can vent to, you can rant to, you can, and it's so important. So anybody that tells you, hey, now you're married, you need to cut off your... Please don't listen. Please. You need your friends. You need people that are riding for you, people that wish you well, they want to see you grow. You need those people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not sure
That's
people
awesome.
understand that ChatGPT does not think for itself. I'm not sure people understand
AI,
how
it's an
AI
automated
works,
thing.
right?
Yeah.
It's garbage in, garbage out. ChatGPT doesn't actually know the difference between me and Onyinye, right? It's the same reason why you can put a picture in ChatGPT, a baby, and tell it to edit, and it gives you an adult face. It doesn't know the difference between those, right? It is basically working off of information that has been fed to it or is available open source on the internet. So when you're speaking to ChatGPT, it's basically regurgitating other people's thoughts, right? Obviously, you can train it to think a bit more like you, but it's not necessarily thinking more like you. It's just sourcing more information that is more aligned to what it believes you like to hear.
Yeah.
So it's telling you what you want to hear based on the responses you've given to it, not necessarily what the facts are. So if what you often respond to is when ChatGPT tells you, oh, your husband is the devil, he's this, he's that, that is the information you're going to receive. If you always want to be right, that is what you're going to. ChatGPT is basically going to give you what makes you happy.
Right.
So it's definitely
That
you shouldn't be
ChatGPT is
getting
not your
therapy
friend.
on
From
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. Please get real help.
Yeah.
Get real help. This
And
has been a wonderful.
It has. No, I was going to say just leave the house.
Step away. Go and find your sisters.
Yes,
The
just
fact that you have
leave the
sisters
house.
in this city, like, come on. I don't know what. Maybe I don't know the full picture. I don't know the relationship
family
between
dynamics
you
and
and
stuff.
And
But
I
even
know
if it
family is
doesn't work for the
complex.
sisters,
So.
find friends.
Exactly.
Go, find a church. I like church. I know people have apathy towards the church right now, but I like church. We met in
Find
church.
a good church. We met in church. Exactly.
Yeah.
See?
So find
Good
a good
things
church.
happen in
Good things
church.
happen in church. You know.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, this has been a wonderful
It
conversation.
has.
I hope and I know that plenty of women, even men, would definitely pick a thing or two from our conversation. However, before we end, there's a question we usually ask every guest.
Oh.
And because it's the Diary of a Naija Immigrant, what is one thing you wish you knew before buying the one-way ticket to Canada?
To Canada. One thing I wish I knew. Be careful who you talk to so you don't carry people's baggage, right? A lot of people come in, they're terrified, they're this, they're that. Will it work? Will it not work? People have told you there are no jobs, you can't get anything without Canadian experience. So you come in and the first thing you think of doing is going to do care work because that's what they told you is available. But you have a master's, you have work experience, you're an excellent professional, and here you are working a job that is not that is bad, but you could get more, right? So that's just an example. A lot of people's experiences are different. So find people that are on the same trajectory as you, find people that are on the same path that you want to be on and listen to them. I just wish I knew that I wouldn't have wasted a few months at the initial stage, doing God knows what.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you want to dive into that?
I mean, maybe. My first job here was a fundraiser, right? And that's because I was just terrified that I wasn't going to get like a job, right? And I was like, oh my God, like, what if I don't get a job? And I had decided to move to Canada. My dad wanted me to do my PhD. And I decided, please, I'm tired of book a big, so I was taking a different path than, what he wanted and my family wanted. And so I was very conscious of, I didn't want to go back and say that I failed, or ask for more money because, I've run out of money. And people had told me there are no jobs. Nobody will give you a job without Canadian experience. So the first, job I saw, I'm like, yeah, give me at least, it'll pay the basic bills, right? And I can have my nice savings, for a rainy day. I did a job for a few months. I remember the day I quit the job, I asked my manager, I'm like, what do you make? Because she had come to give me a spiel. I was promoted 3 times in I think in a space of maybe 2 or 3 months, and she's like, oh my God, the way you're going, in a year or 2, you'll be manager. I'm like, oh, that's exciting. How much do you make? And she told me, I'm like,
really? Is that what I'm working for?
I quit the same day.
Really?
The same day.
Oh,
like
that manager would have regretted.
End of that shift. I'm like, sweetie, I paid for school fees in UK in pounds. You're telling me in 2 years I'll make what? That's not why I left my family and friends to come here,
Goodness,
and it was at that point I was just like, no, this can't be the best, this can't be everything Canada has to offer. So if I hadn't allowed myself to become afraid just from other people's experiences, and I had a job in 6 weeks, right? I had a project management job in 6 weeks after quitting that job. But if I hadn't allowed myself to be consumed by other people's fears, I would probably have come in and went straight to doing my project management and doing my job, as I should have. So I think it's just very careful. The people you listen to can determine how your journey evolves here. So you just need to make sure you're listening to the right people, listen to people that are on the same path that you want to be on when you get here, and that can make a world of difference for you.
See, you heard it here first. And I think that is so tea, because like I've shared my experience before. If you haven't watched or listened to my story, please go listen. But the same thing happened to me. Like, listen to information. Information is so key in this part of the world. There's so many things that you need to know in order to thrive here. If there was an MC who was emceeing a show, not a show, but an event, and he was like, the first person that he chatted with was the taxi driver that took him from the airport, and the taxi driver told him that the best place to live and the best jobs to have, like, live in the Northeast, and maybe you have to get like a job with a McDonald's or an Uber driver and everything. And that was what he did. And then eventually he found out that those were all crap. So the first people that you meet are the ones, and the people you chat with, the information you get is what influences the kind of life you're going to live on the long run. So make sure you're talking to the right people. Make sure you have the right information. Listen to the Diary of a Naija Immigrant. We always have shared experience, first-hand experiences, where we tell you the right path to follow. If you have any questions, do not hesitate. I'm not an immigration disclaimer, please. I'm not an immigration what do they call them?
Expert or lawyer?
No, I am
consultant.
not. Well, at least I could maybe refer you to someone, or maybe you could even get the information you need by listening to someone else's experience, like the way Chioma just shared now. You do not have to have a job that is below your standard or below your educational qualification in order for you to thrive here in Canada. You can get a good job.
Yeah.
You are enough as long as you check your papers and everything is good. Please go for it. Yeah. Anyways, this was really nice, Chioma. We should do this again. Maybe this time next year.
Okay, next year.
Chioma is going to. Do you want to briefly tell us about the events that is coming up?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we have a annual period summit. So it's a 3-part program. The first is the National Creative Competition. This year, our focus is on women's safety. So we're asking women and girls to share about the day they felt unsafe as Nigerian women. It doesn't have to be, I'm sure people have multiple experiences of feeling unsafe as Nigerian women, but share the most profound experience you have. And that's because we want to amplify, right? Amplify the stories, advocate for women. Because when we talk about women being unsafe in Nigeria, people think you're just making stuff up, or you guys are just being emotional. Nigeria is generally unsafe, but there are safety issues that are primarily centered on women, that are specific to women, and we want to amplify those. So it's a competition. Feel free to enter. It's there are prizes to be won. There are cash prizes. As much as this is a serious conversation and we want to amplify these voices, there are cash prizes to be won as well, because women's stories are valuable and we like to put our money where our mouth is. So the second part is we're doing an outreach. Obviously, the charity started out being focused on period poverty, and that's still a big part of the work that we do. So we're going to be empowering hundreds of schoolgirls with period kits, and doing safety education, dignity education, because we do want to raise young girls who understand that they are worthy. And, you know, they are worthy of everything and they can get everything that they want themselves. And then the third part is the period summits, where we're bringing in women and girls, you know, professionals, artists, creatives, and that is also the final part of the competition, right, where the winner will be announced. The summit itself is on March 6th, but the creative competition is going to run from January 12th to February 12th. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
It's coming up really quickly.
Very, very quickly. Very, very quickly.
Okay, this is awesome. So participate, put in your own entry if you can.
Yeah, share your story. We'd like to hear it.
And then Chioma will we'll be checking. And I think there's a hashtag.
There's a hashtag. Oh, you can follow us on Instagram, Safety for Every Girl. For your video submission, obviously you have to tag Safety for Every Girl. You also have to use the hashtag #HasSafetyHaPower, which is our theme this year. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
You're doing big things, good things, and I love it for you.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you.
Don't stop. I will be here cheering you and pushing you.
Thank you. Oh, and it is proudly sponsored by MTN. So.
Okay. MTN, you have clocked it inside my podcast. You should better come and sponsor. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and for being here. Chioma, it was an absolute pleasure hearing your story and learning more about. I feel like I always learn more about my friends when they come on the podcast. But anyways, yeah, it was so good. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's been such a pleasure.
Yeah, did you have fun?
I did. No, this was actually very. It's just like
therapeutic.
Like,
yeah.
It didn't feel. It was very low pressure.
See,
low stress.
when I invite you for my podcast, come. It is fun.
It is. This just felt like having a conversation.
There is no guest that has come and has said that they didn't have fun. Everybody's like, oh, this, I didn't even remember that I was on camera.
Yeah.
One even said, I didn't remember I was sick.
It doesn't feel like, it feels very chill.
That's
I enjoyed it.
That's what we try to do. That's the Donny effect.
Thank you.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on whose journey you would love to hear next. I know the outro is still going to say this, but please like, subscribe, follow, share, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. The Diary of a Naija Immigrant was proudly brought to you through Onyi's Lens. If you like this episode, then you should check out our other episodes. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment on whose journey you would like to hear about next on The Diary of a Naija Immigrant. And until next time, I remain Onyi Ekenelbi. Bye now, friends.